Illuminate your world within. Well, that means a lot of things. But most of you have a negative connotation and association with illuminate and illuminati, meaning I illuminate, I am illuminated, meaning light, and I am light within, meaning I have lightened my world, the universe within. So you create your universe within a world. But when your focus is on the outside, meaning external world events and all that, it makes you heavy. Meaning you're focusing, you have an attachment to wanting to change, wanting to control what happens outside of you, which you never can do. So as you go higher on the level of consciousness and you're growing and you understand more and more, of course, you will actually realize this. The problem was that you had listened to people who were on a lower level of consciousness and had a lower vibrational interpretation of the world outside of themselves, because they did not know themselves enough to know that. So most humans have this association and this, this interpretation within them, and they're mainly dragged and pulled into all kinds of different directions as far as interpretation goes, because they're looking outside, they're influenced, and so they use the data to distort their energy within, their own actually natural interpretation that would be, but they're too attached to outside knowledge, outside information, and the focus is on the external instead of going inward and really illuminate their world within, meaning really just go within, have your peace, know what feels right to you. And if it feels heavy to pay attention to your external world, why do you? You can change that anytime. You can be you anytime, and you can lighten up your load. You can lighten up. You can be in joy, inside. Really see everything that is good, that is happening, that your strength, your beauty, accessing your inner power. And accessing your inner power, you only can do when you pay attention to yourself, when you really have an intention, not attention outside of you. So this is, of course, others mention that in that sense, but a lot of people misunderstand. Basically, they interpret on their level of consciousness, so actually that becomes their truth, whatever they interpreted. And you need to interpret on your level and see what feels right to you. So, of course, but what you're not ready to receive, you won't receive. You have to reach a certain level of consciousness in order to keep growing, and you always have to be and stay open-minded and open into, allowing the wisdom come up, to resurface from within. But most of you are going and looking out there for the interpretation of a lower level of consciousness person, but you listen and you take it as the God words, or something. Everybody is in that sense, because everybody is creating their own world within, so everybody is godly in that sense, and they have the power to create that. But if you're using other people's interpretations, you're not living your own life, and you're not living your own light. You're living other people's light, which might be less enlightened than yours would be if you were naturally just creating your world within, which you do always. But this way, it's more like, it's an automatic thing if you're not really paying intention, but rather attention what's out there. So if you make them a focal point of your world and not your world is the focal point, then, it's like pulling into 2 or 1,000 different directions. So illuminate meaning I, illuminated, I am lightened, I am lighter, very less, mindless, just carefree and effortless. So you can create on all kinds of levels. You want to create in the world of effort, then you listen to people who are always working and doing and whatever, and they think that it's right for them, but it not might be right for you. So you have to really go within and see your own light. What feels better to you? And you choose that moment to moment. It's like a child. There is no plan and there is no goal when a child is playing. It's a playground. Earth is a playground. And when you start playing, obstacles will fall away like dominoes. And have you ever seen a plan or a goal in a child's mind when they play? There is no goal, there is no plan. It's moment to moment. And when you see a small child, but if you see a child who has goals and plans already placed in, it had been influenced by an adult who forgot how to play. And so it's already distorted in that sense. And most child becomes like that eventually, unless, they're strong enough and they're solid in their beingness. And of course, the newer generation is stronger, so they don't get so influenced by the outside world, depending on the level of consciousness, whatever they brought in already in that sense. So there is no plan. It's just moment to moment. What feels right to you? What feels right to you always in that moment, what makes you enjoy life, what makes you feel light. So your decisions are made on what feels best to me, and I am lightening up my load, so I'm never ever going into things that don't make me happy anymore, or make me feel good, or make me feel having fun. So illuminate. There is no negative connotation in illuminate, but for most people, yes, because they listen to other people's lower level of interpretations. So keep that in mind and have fun and lighten up your world. Just live carefree, play like a child, moment to moment. There is no past, there is no future, there is this moment is your life. And in this moment, you can access your power, your inner power. Meaning, don't mind the world. Let the kids play outside. Have you heard that sentence before? Let the kids play outside. Let the kids play outside, meaning unmatured grown-ups who are still playing on the level of consciousness, which, they are at the whim of all kinds of things, like external news, or they get sad and upset and all that stuff. So, they are just trick or treat. So the question is, will you trick yourself or will you treat yourself? This is really what matters. Trick or treat. So if you want to trick yourself and you want to pretend you're focusing on the external, there are all the illusions, and the illusions, there is confusion and, all kinds of, feelings which are really dragging you and pulling you from one side to the next, moment by moment, when you don't know how to play with this, when you don't know and you don't understand, and you're not on the level of consciousness which already understands how this works. So you don't know, you don't know how energy works, you don't know the law of the energy, you don't create your world within, but you're just, you're using the data to really get blinded by the outside little shiny things and toys and effort, and you have to have plans and goals and whatever. But you can choose any time to go inward and create your own world, which is light. It's safe. You just know that you are perfect. You also know that you are perfect the way you are. And the only thing that was missing, you did not accept yourself fully and completely, and you did not know how to love yourself, because for ages, for eons of times, you were hearing, all kinds of interpretations, oh no, it's selfish to love yourself, etc., etc. So you were listening too much on the outside and you were influenced by it. You allowed them to influence you, but we know better now. So lighten up, create your own world. Don't trick yourself, but treat yourself and create the world within. Everything is within yourself. Everything, anything. And that's where your power lies, your inner power. To solidify your beingness just by being, just by accepting, just by treating and pampering and loving and accepting you. And at the same time, you just accept the world how it is out there. Let them play whatever they want to, and let them, just let them feel bad if they want to feel bad. But don't join and add to this crap. Don't feed the fear. Don't feed the bullshit. Don't try to be like a good person, the mystery of this ideal spiritual beingness. We're over this. We're over this. You are a master level. Teachers only can teach what, on what the level of consciousness they are. So, obviously, a master teacher, a professor, is not going back to primary school to teach. So, like a lot of us who are sharing our inner perceptions and our world view in that sense, meaning the universe, the energy, and our wisdom that we access through ourselves, and not by the outside knowledge, which is like all kinds of interpretations. Let them learn how to walk, but you already know how to walk in the galaxies. You are master creators. You already know. You create your world within. We are creating within. We're not going out there and and do all this effort stuff. We don't. We're master creators, the creators of the universe, right? Because we're creating within. We know. As I always said, consciousness is the answer, and we don't fight. We don't die. We don't, play all that bullshit out there that they do, which is perfectly fine. So don't get me wrong. It's perfectly fine for them to play that. But we are not on that level. We know better. And it's not about being better or worse or anything like that, but we are on a different level of consciousness, and we just know that. And let them play outside and play outside, and pay outside, meaning paying for what they play, right? Because there's always whatever they want to participate in, let them participate in. And you just know, and just rest in the knowledge that you're destined for greatness. You already are. And just say, I understand. I maybe once, I was playing with those things, but not anymore. I'm just more than that. More in understanding and more in everything that I ever have and ever am. And it's just, I am that I am. I am that who I am. So allow your power and work within, play within your field and your universe. Namaste. Stella Powers. Bye.